Welcome back. This is the 15th segment where we are exploring in bite-sized pieces issues and questions surrounding the realities of evil and suffering. And what we have been doing the past few segments is looking at 7 responsible responses to evil. Responses that we can glean from our study of the Bible. And what we have said is, so far as we have looked at the first 4 of the 7, is that they sort of unfold. And by that I mean the first one has 3 components to it. That is, self-examination and repentance and hope. And it is a response that is an inner examination and the questioning of what is it that I contribute to the evil around me. The second takes us outside of ourselves, and it is non-participation. We do not get involved, we don't support, we don't participate in the evil that is going on around us. But it's important, but it's passive. The third takes us a little further, and that is opposition. We stand against the evil that we see in whatever way we can, as much as we can. The fourth takes us even further in that we seek justice for the sake of our neighbors and for the sake of the perpetrator, him or herself. The fifth takes us even further, and this may be the most difficult of all of the responses, and that is forgiveness. Forgiveness of the one who has injured you, hurt you, perpetrated an evil against you. Now, let me press a point for those of you who are followers of Jesus. And by the way, this applies to those of you who are not followers of Jesus. However, I have no reason to expect that you care about what the Bible teaches, but it still applies to you, believe it or not. But those of you who are followers of Jesus, forgiveness is something that Jesus tells us that we are to do. And so in that sense, it's not an option. We have to decide if we're going to be obedient or disobedient. And if we decide not to forgive, then we're deciding we're going to be disobedient. We're not going to do what it is that Jesus has told us to do. And there are consequences to that, which now is not the place to examine. So, let me then, if forgiveness is what we are to do, offer a working definition of forgiveness. Forgiveness is when you decide you are not going to allow the violation against you to be an obstacle preventing you from doing whatever you should to meet the needs of the person who hurt you. Now, let me repeat that. Forgiveness takes place when you decide that you are not going to allow the violation against you to be an obstacle preventing you from doing whatever it is that you should to help meet the needs of the person who hurt you. Now, to pull this off, we're going to have to know what we're dealing with. So, first of all, forgiveness is not a process. You don't go, oh, I'm just not there yet. No. Forgiveness is something you decide to do or not do at any given moment. Forgiveness is a decision to actively love the person who injured you. Now, to understand that, we have to understand that when the Bible talks about love and commands us to love, it's talking about an action. It's not a feeling. It's something that I do, it's not something that I feel. And I am not required to like my enemies. I'm not required to have an affection for them or warm fuzzies. They may make me want to throw up every time I even think about them. No, it's not a feeling, it's not an emotion, it's an action. Now, in this working definition, what I've said is that forgiveness is where we do not allow the violation to become an obstacle preventing us from doing what we should do to meet that person's needs. Now, I picked that word very deliberately. Some people are dangerous. Some people are toxic. And you should not be in close geographical proximity to them. You should not put yourself at risk. There are some people for whom the only thing you should do, because it's the only thing that you can do and remain safe and keep your family safe, is to pray for them. But that is no small thing. And in fact, if there was nothing else that you could do for them but pray, then you'd be doing the very best thing that you could possibly do for them, even if you had all the other options open to you. We do what we should do in order to meet their needs. A final point, at least for this segment. There's a difference between what a person needs and what they want. Oftentimes what they want, they don't need. And what they need, they don't want. So we also have to pray for discernment. How can we best actively love this enemy of ours in order to provide them as best we possibly can with safety in meeting whatever needs they have. That is forgiveness. Active, vibrant forgiveness. Now, there's more to unpack with this, and we will.